You got Leon D here, and we're going to talk about food. I'm not an expert on anything to do with food, but I've been around a long time, and I am a professional barbecuologist. I know food. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know a lot of things that you may not like. That's the intro for Leon D. Let's get it on. I'm going to talk about food that's being sold at food markets, Amish markets, and some grocery stores and big box stores. I'm gonna give you some insight on a lot of this because a lot of you don't know this, especially people who go to um, food markets. Sometimes your local neighborhood may have a co-op that's selling food, and usually in co-ops, everything's homegrown. I totally get that. Everything's homegrown. But when you go to, let's talk about Amish markets. They have a lot of Amish markets out in Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, maybe even New York. I don't know. But I know they got them in the Northeast a lot. I went to an Amish market with a friend of mine, and he was bragging about the food they had and the prices. I want to see the prices because I do a lot of buying meat, and I go to places that deal with commercial vendors, places like Restaurant Depot. So we go to the Amish market and we walk around and we see a lot of different food. So we see all this different food, and that's cool. I'm looking at the prices. First of all, the prices are higher than a Costco. But what really shocked me was that this lady in front of me was buying some meat. The guy goes in the back, brings out the meat. She buys it. She pays like $5.99 for a pound of ribs. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, that seems very, very expensive. She's paying like $10.99 for ribeye, steaks. And I'm like, seems kind of high to me. So we go and we look at desserts and all this other stuff they have there. We look at the chicken that they're selling for like $1.80 a wing. And these were whole wings, decent sized wings, mind you. And so I don't think much about it. Then so I go outside and I looked at a piece of wrapper that was laying on the sidewalk because I wasn't sure what it was. I pick it up and it says Smithfield Foods. Now we're at the Amish market where they brag about everything is homegrown on the farm. We do our own ribs. We do our own beef. We do our own everything. And then I look at it. I see this other wrapper. It says Tyson's Chicken. So I go back into the Amish store. I'm not giving much thought to it. And another lady said, "Hey, I want to buy some chicken." Well, I noticed that the guy goes in the back, and I'm looking at him. He opens a pack of Tyson's chicken. He's selling to her, at $1.80 per wing. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? He's selling the same thing that I could buy at a Lidl, a Giant. I could buy that anywhere. And he's adding a middleman markup to it. That's why the ribs were $5.99. And I'm like, I just bought some at Costco yesterday at Costco's or Sam's Club, one of those stores I was at. It was $2.29 a pound for a 12-bone rib uncooked. $2.29 a pound, and she paying $5.99, and she's all happy about it, like it's the best thing that she ever saw in her life. And I was like, holy hell, this is crazy. And he's selling probably 30 or 40 slabs in the next 20 or 30 minutes because she bought like 8 slabs at one time. And I'm thinking to myself, either people are just lazy, dumb, don't care, or they fit in all 3 categories. I've seen people fit in all 3 or 4 categories, so don't get me wrong there. But the whole thing, my point was, you're buying food that you can buy in a regular grocery store because Lidl had the ribs for $1.99, frozen. not freshly cut. But so I'm sitting there saying she throwing her money away, but it ain't my money, so I got no dog in that fight at all. Then so I decided to go to Costco, and I look in the back, and they had and I noticed that nobody had a cleaver in their hand in the butcher's area. I'm like, how are you a butcher and you don't pick a cleaver up for 10 minutes? So the guy comes out. He goes, hey, anything I help you with? I said, I got a question for you. I want a special cut of meat. I want a tomahawk steak or T-bone. And I wanted about 7 pounds. And he goes, they don't come that way. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, don't you cut the meat yourself? He said, hell no. He said, everything we get come pre-cut. So if you don't see it the way you want it, we don't have it. And I was like, okay, that's a lot different than the old days. I said, hey, do you guys have butchers here, or you have people who just unpack meat and put it out on the shelves? He said, we don't have butchers here. I said, okay, that doesn't surprise me. So I thought it was kind of odd. And he goes, years ago, we had butchers where we get a whole cow or whole pig and we could cut you the piece you wanted. He said, but nowadays, that's not the case at all. It comes a package, freeze dried a certain way. We take it out and we put it out so you can buy it. He said, as all our meats, he said, the pulled pork or the Boston butt, however you want to call it, or, he said, the steaks come that way. He said, basically, we thaw them out and put them out. I said, so you got one central warehouse for all of Costco, and everybody goes there, or trucks come and drop the food off every day. He goes, exactly. I said, nice. Okay, I said, okay. But I said, where do you get your meat from? He said, Smithfield and Tyson's. Now, this is the exact same place the Amish market was charging like 2.5 times the price for the exact same thing. And the Amish market food looked a little aged. It looked like it had been there for a while. Because they bring in a lot of meat, and I know that they're not taking all that meat home every day because they're only open 3 or 4 days out of the week. So I'm thinking, you're only open 3 days out of the week. I said, not a problem. But let me ask you a question. I actually got the Amish market. I said, are these pigs, that you raise and you're cutting the meat? He said, in some cases. I said, what do you mean in some cases? He said, in some cases, we have prepackaged meat. I said, explain to me what prepackaged meat means, because I'm not sure I know what they mean. He said, well, we get some Smithfield, and some of the chicken come from Tyson. And I said, what percentage? He said, about 90% comes from these other stores or these other manufacturers or these other poultry houses or beef houses. He said, the meats come from there. I already knew that. I just didn't know the percentage. But I already knew that a lot of the food came from other sources. And I said, but you advertise fresh. He goes, oh, we give you fresh meat, 10%. I say, but you're not getting beyond that percentage. And I just said, oh, okay. Now that I know this for a fact, why would anybody go to the Amish market to buy what they think is fresh meat when really it's just thawed out, frozen meat? Yeah, it just thawed out. The meat is just thawed out, frozen meat. They start, they thawed out the day before. And then so I decided to go look at the bakery. And I go to the bakery and I notice one thing. I don't see an oven anywhere. Every time somebody buys something like a pound cake or key lime pie or coconut custard, they just bring another one out. But yet I don't see anything showing me that they baked that cake fresh. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't bake it prior to bringing it here, and he got a truckload of it in the back. But it seemed like they're buying it from somewhere else and putting a label on it. It just looks that way. It just looks that way. So I asked the young lady, I said, hey, I said, if I wanted 20 of these, can I get 20 of them? She said, yes. And I was talking about key lime pie. And I'm talking about whole key lime pies, not slices, whole key lime pies. She said, yes. I said, what the hell? I can get 20 of them, and I don't see a oven or any baking material, nothing here. That told me that she had about 50 of them on the back of a truck ready to be sold. All it needs is a customer. But I was like, so how's this going to work? She said, you want 20, I'll sell you 20, and I have them for you in 2 minutes. You can't cook that many damn pies in 2 minutes. It can't be done. So I was kind of like, okay, I now know what she means. And now she's not telling me what I want to know, but I already know what I want to know. What I want to know is that these pre-made cakes are coming from somewhere else. And it could be another Amish cooker, baker, whatever you want to call them. It could be that. But I seriously doubt it was that. I seriously doubt it was that. I just said, okay, no problem. She said, how many you want? I said, one. And I just want to sample it, see what it tastes like. So then I started thinking about the eggs they got for sale. See, the Amish market used to be cheap. Costco is still cheap, but Costco, I think the only thing they're making fresh is the bakery. I seen them cook cakes and take them out of, the oven and stuff. But they do a lot of that nowadays early in the morning when you're not around, before the store opens. But the Amish market is just one huge ripoff. I don't understand that at all. And people buy into it because, it's the Amish market. Oh, we having a good cause. The hell with that. When it comes to my money and food, I'm not trying to help a good cause. I'm trying to get the best quality of food for the cheapest price possible. That's just how it works. So I'm not trying to make sure they're happy. I'm trying to make sure I'm happy. But that's just how it goes. And then you go to Lidl and you go to Aldi and some of the other stores. Everything they have is dirt cheap. It makes you wonder, what is the source of their meat? Or maybe they don't care about their profit margin as much as the other stores, which is odd and strange to me because every store has to make a profit. If not, they won't be in business very long. And then you got stores like Wegman and Giant. They let you know, we're going to screw you for all we can get out of you. And I'm fine with that because when you go there, you know what you're going in for already. You already know that. So don't go there and be surprised that you see a piece of salmon and they want $20 a pound for fresh salmon or what we call wild salmon. But if you want farm-raised salmon, hell, I can raise that in my backyard. I can put that in a bathtub and raise that. And I can sell you that for $7.99 a pound. But you're going to see the difference in colors and you're going to see the difference in taste. But you pay for what you get. That's just how it works. So if you're on a budget, and then Walmart, we already know that Walmart or the super centers as they call them, you're going to have a lot of bottom feeders, and you're not going to have a butcher. You're not going to have someone who's going to cater to your needs. You're going to get what you get, and they're going to tell you don't like it, go somewhere else, because you're going to spend more anyplace else. It's kind of like going to the restaurant depot. You're going to pay a decent price, but you're going to walk out with quality. And believe it or not, you're gonna pay prices that's cheaper than Costco. But you can get it customized, cut the way you want to. You can get it filleted the way you want to. So you walk out a happy person. But at the same time, if you're not buying bulk, you're not saving money because they'll tell you 1 pound of fish costs you $5, but if you get 10 pounds, it's gonna cost you $20 total. So you got to just weigh the odds on what's best for you. So when you're out there shopping for food, don't let these places give you a lot of hype and you spend a lot of money and you find out that you could save all that money if you would have just went to your local grocery. Because the Amish market got a hell of a reputation and stays crowded. It stays crowded because people don't do research, lazy or dumb, like I said, and they just want to eat. And then they want to know why they're eating what they're eating. So when I go out, what I do is that I always start with the big box retailers, and I go from that point and I look at what they're offering and their prices. But if I were going to buy like a lot of food, I always end up at Restaurant Depot. Because when you look at chicken wings, and the Amish market is $1.80 a wing, and I can get the same wing for 89 cents, maybe even a little bigger, but 89 cents a pound at Restaurant Depot, and all I need is to put my labor into it, which is going to take me about 30 minutes plus seasoning, you know. So that's Leon D. We're out.